Hi there, minions. Here we go. Video number 5 puts us on page 63. So, as you can see right here, page 63. There we go. Make sure that you set it up for your Cornell notes, top and bottom lines. And then today, what we're looking at is adding, subtracting, and multiplying decimals. So right up here in the title area, add, subtract, and multiply decimals. And are you ready? Let's look at add and subtract rule. All right? The biggest thing to remember is line up the decimal. Every time. Doesn't matter. Adding and subtracting, both of them, you need to line up the decimal. So let's give you an example here. Examples. La 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 la. Yes, I like to doodle and I like to do that. So too bad, so sad for you. Here we go. Let's look at just a simple addition, right? I've got 16.2 plus 62.6. So you need to make sure you write them vertically and line up your decimal. So that makes it 16.2 plus 62.6. All right? And then you just add. 2 plus 6 is 8. Keep that decimal right there. Don't move it. 6 plus 2 is 8 again, and 1 plus 6 is 7. And there's our final answer. Again, remember to put a box around your answer so I don't have to look for it. Because if I have to look for it, it's wrong. All right? Let's try one that's just subtraction, okay? Just a simple subtraction one. And I'm just going to write it vertically from the get-go. I've got 25 and 4/10. And I'm going to subtract 18 and 2/10. All right? So, 4, take away 2 is 2. Keep that decimal right there. 5, can't take 8 away from 5, so we need to go next door and borrow. So that 2 is going to become a 1. And we take those 10 and we add them to that 5. So now we've got 15 minus 8. That's going to leave us with 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. So our answer is 7.2. All right? So now, I know some of you are like, but wait a minute, miss. I've seen it where they don't have the same amount of numbers. I know, but it's just as easy. Watch this. Okay? I've got 145 and 7/10. And to that, I'm going to add 98 and 44/100. I did get those decimals lined up, so my decimal's going to stay right there. But I've got some empty spaces here. Now, this empty space isn't as important. There's an invisible 0 there. And right now, there's an invisible 0 here. Because remember, 7/10 is the same thing as 70/100, right? So now I can do my addition. 0 plus 4 is 4. 7 plus 4 is 11. So I put the 1 from the ones place and carry that 1 for the tens. 5 plus 8 is 13. Plus 1 more is 14. So again, put the 4 and carry that 1. And then 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 1 is 14. Put down the 4, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And that's going to be my final answer, 244 and 14/100. Right? Let's try a subtraction one. Here we go. I've got 635 34 and 629 thousandths. And we're going to subtract 48 and 4/10. It's not difficult. Remember, we have invisible zeros here, so we have to fill in the blanks right there. We've got our decimal all lined up, and now I just do the subtraction. 9 minus 0 is 9. 2 minus 0 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 minus 8, can't do that. We need to go borrow, so we'll take the 2. And now we've got 14 minus 8. That's going to be 6. 2 minus 4, can't do that, so I need to go borrow from here and make that a 5. Now that's 12. So 12 minus 4 is 8. And then 5, there's nothing to subtract, so that stays there. And now we have our final answer, 586 and 229 thousandths. Okay? So that is adding and subtracting with decimals. But I said we're also going to multiply. Yes! Multiplication! Okay? This is cool. Your rule, I'm going to write that in green since I did green up there for rules. So, multiply rule. Okay? Ignore the decimal until the end. I know you probably have never had a teacher tell you to ignore something in math. Here we go. I'm going to do a simple one first. All right. So I'm going to start with 32 and 3/10, and I'm going to multiply that by 9 and 7/10. Now, I don't have to line up my decimals. This one, it did line up, but I don't have to. I'm going to ignore those decimals. I'm not going to pay any attention. Well, I will in just... How many decimal places do I have here? I have this decimal, and there's one number after, so I'm going to put a 1 right here. And then for this one, again, I have 1 after, so I'm going to put a 1 right there. Now, I'm not paying any attention to those decimals anymore. Now I'm just doing multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. Put down the 1 and carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22. There we go. Now, I've done the 7, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to put a little line through it. And because I'm moving over 1 digit, I have to put a 0 there so that I remember everything's moved over. 9 times 3 is 27. So I'm going to carry that 2 again. I should have probably scribbled things out. There we go. So we're going to carry the 2 again. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So put the 0 and carry another 2. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 2 more is 29. Put the 9 and the 2. And now we're going to do our addition. We've got a 1. 6 and 7 is 13, so carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, I've got all my multiplication done. Now is the end. So now I'm going to put my decimals in. I've got 1 decimal place here and 1 decimal place here. So that's 2 decimal places. So I need to move over 1, 2 numbers. My decimal goes right there. And there's my final answer. 313 and 31 100ths. All right? You will practice more in class. I promise. Let's try one more. This one's going to be a little bigger, so don't panic, okay? I've got 51 and 4/10 times 7 and 41/100ths. All right? So, I've got one decimal place, so one number after the decimal, and here I've got 2 after the decimal. Now, I just do multiply. All right? I've got 3 digits times 3 digits. It's easy. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So I've done the 1. Now I'm going to put on a 0 because we're moving over. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. And 4 times 5 is 20. Now, did the 4. Move over 1 more. So now I'm in the 1, 2 spaces. I'm on the 3rd digit. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. And then 7 times 5 is 35. So now I'm going to add this all together. 4. 6 plus 1 is 7. 5 and 5 is 10. Plus 8 is 18. So 8, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. So 0 and carry the 1. 5 and 2 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. And then 3, there's nothing up there, so I just bring the 3 down. All right, 380874. Those are my digits when I'm done multiplying. But now I have to make it into an actual decimalated number. So I've got 1 and 2, so that's 3. So I'm going to go in 3 numbers. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that, my friends, is just how simple it is to add and subtract decimals and to multiply decimals. Have fun in class, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!